McNairs, played football at Upper Dolphin, then pretty much got a full ride to go to Dartmouth for 4 years, and then he finished up at UMass. Now he's waiting for the UFL draft. That's January 14th. And he'll be picked up in that to go play in that other league besides the NFL. It's UFL. You'll see him playing that here come this upcoming year. So he wanted to talk to you guys real briefly about his journey, what it took to get there, but then also about injuries, why they're so important, what you have to do to take care of them. Okay? Mac, and all you, bud.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming by today. Like I said, like he said, I won't take up too much time, but I'll start by just saying, not too much about myself, but like he said, what it took to get where I am now. So went to a super small high school, and I think that taught me a lot about like when you go to college camps and stuff, people overlook you because of your school and stuff like that. There's a lot of great schools around this area that are more blessed with like notability for college coaches. I went to Upper Dolphin, so I graduated with like 90 kids at a public school, so super small, like I said. And I think what really got me to college, and then I was at a mini camp with the Cleveland Browns and then UFL stuff all the way through. I think that was just like my hard work. Ask Coach Bricks, I would come in here every single day and just like want to work the hardest. I'm maybe not always the fastest, strongest, whatever, at all the places I've been, but just the hard work is really the thing that I'm carrying through. And then he said talk about the injury stuff, so that Coach Bricks is the best in the world, in my opinion, with injuries, fixing you up when stuff go wrong. So I was in college, first real injury in my career. I was blessed, super healthy throughout high school. And then my junior year, I was like coming off of a tackle, and a 300-pound lineman fell into the side of my leg. I'm lucky I didn't break my leg, but somehow my ankle rolled and I felt a bad pop or whatever. And it was like, my ankle, you can still see it. If you see the difference, like how swollen this one is, that's just because of scar tissue, stuff like that. But I couldn't walk on it at all. My trainers told me, basically, you're done for the rest of the year. This was game 4. We have 10-game seasons in the Ivy League, so I was going to miss the rest of the 6 games. I was having a great season, and it totally killed me. Not thinking I wouldn't be able to play, but I called Coach Bricks, and I said, hey, what should I do? And the trainers told me, like, the classic RICE, so rest, ice, compression, and then elevate. And that's what they wanted me to do. Just get off of it, quit in, boo, and then we'll see you next year. And I called Coach Bricks because I was like, there has to be a way I can play. And he said, get it moving, try and like stay off of it for a little bit, and then you need to get weight on it and actually get moving. So complete opposite of what my trainer said. And like I said, I like my trainers a lot, but it just, I knew there had to be a different way. Coach Bricks had worked with me my whole life, so I trusted him. Called him, I started doing everything he said. It was like band work to start out, because that's the only thing I could do. And then we do like presses, so I would sit against the doorway, and press like this, trying to strengthen it all 4 ways. And eventually, I asked them, I'm like, hey, I'm progressing way faster than I should be. What's the timeline if I could get back? And they said, you'll probably make it, at this rate, you'll make it back for the last 2 games of the year. Like I said, I got hurt game 4, we had 6 games to go, so I was going to miss 4 games. I trusted Coach Bricks, did everything that he said every single day, didn't take a single day off, and I ended up missing only 2 games. Came back, it was a grade, they said it was like grade 3 ankle sprain, and I got an x-ray afterwards, and I still have like torn ligaments in my ankle, but I came back after 2 games, only missed 2 games, played like half of my first game back, and then full the rest of the season. And that's a tribute to Coach Bricks, but also it's just doing the work every single day. I think when you're injured, a lot of people stay on the rehab process, and then you get whatever, I'm back to playing, so but that's not the case. We did the same ankle stuff the whole rest of the season, and I ended up playing great the rest of the year too, just because I felt confident on that ankle. I heard Coach Bricks say this morning to a girl, your body can probably go back before your mind can, but if you do that work every single day, it trains your body to come back, but it also trains your mind to be like, okay, this is strong. I can do what I need to do in a game, whether it be football, basketball, any sport really. So I think the just staying at it every single day is one of the most important things that I would say with injuries. And then also, like I said, you gotta stay at it after that, because if you just heal it and then you think it's healed, but you come back and play and you're just, okay, I'm back to playing, then really you're probably not completely healed and you're gonna have issues down the road. Me and Coach Briggs talked about it when I had this happen. If I would have done what I had to do to come back, I actually did. I was moving a little different, and I couldn't help it because my body's just telling my brain's telling my foot, like, don't use it the way it's supposed to be used because it was injured. So I actually ended up having like a little bit of a groin issue too, but that was super small, something we fixed right away, and I was working on it every day. So imagine if I had been doing what I was supposed to do, come back and play, stop doing the extra work on the ankle, I probably would have torn or pulled them. So, like I said, just to sum it up, I think you need to do the rehab process every single day. It sounds counterintuitive to what everybody else tells you, but if something hurts, it doesn't mean you should just rest it. That's not what I found to work. That's not what Coach Briggs has taught me works. He's taught that movement works, and honestly, it's helped me in a lot of different things. I actually hurt my knee at UMass my 5th year, and the trainers wanted me to get all these shots in it, just steroid shots and stuff, so I could play. But I kind of refused the shots because I talked to Coach Briggs, and like I said, I trust him, and we just worked on constantly moving it every day before practice in a ton of different ways, and I was fully healthy last game of the year. Didn't miss any games, and like I said, I just think you need to trust the rehab process, stay to it every single day, and if something hurts, you need to learn to play through pain. That's my last thing I'm gonna say. I think a lot of people, it's like, oh, it hurts a little bit to step on, so I still can't play. I'm a big fan. I think I've learned to play through pain. I play football, but it can be really any sport. Like, there's a ton of aches and bruises throughout a season, especially if you guys play in college. The seasons get long, you play a lot of games, it's like week after week, day after day, depending what sport you play. So you gotta learn to play through pain, learn to be uncomfortable, and I think you'll pay a lot of dividends once you go to college. So you can start that in high school. So thank you guys for coming out today. Thanks for letting me speak. I hope you guys can take something.
Do you guys have any questions for Macklin? Anything to ask him about the recruiting process or anything?
Yeah, please. Anything.
I know some of you guys are looking to go through that. How many injuries did you, were they the only two major injuries that you had, the ankle and the knee?
Those were my two main injuries, but I also worked on bad shoulder from football, just because constantly like tackling with that shoulder. I would always lead with the same shoulder, so I had like a partially separated shoulder, and we fixed that up too. A lot of just straight shoulder, but it was all movement. Like I said before, I wasn't just resting it in a sling or anything like that.
Does anybody have any questions for Macklin?
If you could go through like high school again and the recruiting process, like, is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I would, honestly, the biggest thing I would say, and I still like think about this sometimes, is I would not have prepared myself to a lot of other people, because you're in high school, you're like, oh, I'm better than that person, I should have that offer or wherever I want to play. But really, they're in a different situation than you. You have your own unique situation. I think that people say comparisons is thief of joy, and I think that's really true. So I wouldn't get caught up in who else has offers in the area or in the country or whatever. You know what you can do. Just continue to put that forth for coaches to see and it'll pay.
So what did you do for your recruiting? How did you get seen?
My
Coming from a
biggest-
small school, some of these guys, go to smaller schools and
Yeah,
stuff
my
like that.
biggest thing was go to camps and stuff and just try to like be the best player. A lot
Do you
of those
sell
camps-
yourself?
Yeah. So you need to go to coaches, you have to introduce yourself, like say your name, be looked at in the eye, shake their hand, put their handshake. They still appreciate that no matter what's going on in college sports and everything. And those camps, I'll tell you guys, like I've worked some in college. A lot of those camps are just so that coaches can make extra money, and they can just make some extra money on the side outside of football. So you gotta go there like determined. I know a lot of camps I went to, people just want to talk, have fun at the camp. Like your parents pay for you to go to that camp. So I always in high school was just super laser focused on what I had to do. It's a whatever 3-4 hour event, so I think you can focus for that. You're not there to make friends. I know it sounds, I'm not trying to be rude, but when you go to those, like, it's a business trip. I would treat that like that, and I think those camps are really important for a smaller school for sure, because they see your film and they're like, oh, the competition's not good, that's why you look so good. But then you go there and you do it against higher competition, guys from other schools at those camps, and that's how you get it.
So do you have a list of camps that you recommend then, that are, some are better than others maybe, that are more?
Yeah, I don't have a list per se, but I think a lot of those like mega camps I wouldn't recommend. Some of them are good, but few and far between, just because there's so many coaches there and so many players that you get 10 reps at the whole camp and you pay $100 like that. It just doesn't work out for me, and I don't think it works out for a lot of people, to be honest, those mega camps. But like if a coach invites you to a camp, that's a different thing. I think if a coach invites you, sometimes it can be that game, like I said, to get money, but they know you ahead of time. You go there and then you perform, and then it just, they knew you through the phone, but now they see you perform, they're like, wow, he can actually do this. So I would say focus more on individualized camps at like levels or schools you know you want to play at, and like divisions of the sport that you think you can play at. So I think that's way better than those mega camps from this schools.
So you recommend a school that they like,
Yeah.
and then going to that camp, not so much like one of the, like you said, the mega camps or one of those big combines and things like that.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
narrow it down to certain schools and then go to those schools.
Yeah, you gotta know like where you want to go, where you think you can fit, and then be realistic with yourself. Like, can I play at this school? Yeah, I can. So I'll go to this campus, especially if a coach hits you up and says, "Hey, we'd like to have you out," because a lot of times in my experience, you go to that camp, you perform, it leads to the coming season. Hey, like I remember even Cam, or I hit the coach back up. Do you want to come on a visit? Unofficial visit, you go to a game, and it just furthers the relationship. So, and like I said, at those camps, make sure you introduce yourself before and then say thank you after. It's just a small thing, but coaches should really appreciate it.
Any other questions, guys? Macklin, I appreciate it, my man. All right, so next up is Nadia. She's from Trimline. She's going to come in and talk to you guys about nutrition. All right, something I think we neglect. We think we know so much, but I think sometimes the nutrition aspect is just as important, if not more important, than actually working out. Because we neglect that so much, and since you guys are in school, it's sometimes difficult to get what you guys should get. So, Nadia, all you go.
Thank you so much. Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Nadia Sharif. I own Trimline Weight Loss and Wellness for 17 years, will be next year. I created Trimline. I've been doing nutrition, anatomy, and psychology of weight loss and weight retention. And Coach Rex and I have come together. We know each other for a very long time. We have really some wonderful mutual friends, but I'm really into nutrition, and he was really into exercise, obviously. And we're like, I think these two can really do well together. So we've been doing a lot of radio shows, some seminars, and they keep at it in January, and we're just going to keep, educating people. So that's really one of my favorite things to do. I probably have about over 30 doctors that refer their patients to me. Also chiropractors, so there's a lot of people out there that who want to have surgery before and after for their recovery. So your nutrition is one of the most important things. And I always tell people that you can't outrun a bad form, right? So if you are not eating healthy and you look great on the outside, what are you on the inside, right? So your inside is totally off, totally mush, totally unhealthy, but you could really look great on the outside. And that's not what you want. Your inside should really be stronger than even your outside. It's what your balance really is your nutrition. You are what you eat. Have you heard that? You are what you eat. That is truly the key. And I lost 57 pounds myself a long time ago. I'm not tall by any means. I'm maybe 5'2", barely, I think. And I'm in my mid-50s, right? So one thing I really want to urge you guys at your age. So I work with people that are 8 years old, 10 years old, 12. I mean, you name it, from 8 years old to like 86. That's the oldest client I ever worked with. She was 86 years old. And it's all through you eating. One thing of the misconception is that, have you heard of calorie deficit? Do you believe in calorie deficit? Don't. Okay? Because that is, I think those are the two worst words in the whole wide world. Calorie deficit. So number one, I'm a scientist. So there is no calorie counting, it drives me insane, because calorie is one of the worst ways that you can get your nutrition in. So if you look at 500 calories of chicken, right, to 500 calories of gummy bear, those are both 500 calories, but are they even remotely close to their carbs or sugar, their amount of protein that they have? So calorie counting is definitely the wrong way to go. Protein is the most crucial thing you can possibly put into your body as an athlete. Now, I love to work out. I do work out myself. Not in these conditions, but I'm going to get myself into it. Trust me. I'm going to work out outside more, not so much in the gym. I think that's something Coach Brex is going to push me to do, and I'm willing to take the challenge, Coach Brex. Okay, you have it now in front of people. Be saying that. But protein is crucial. I get up eating protein. My snack is protein. My lunch is protein. My snack is protein. My dinner is protein. Okay, and if I want a snack after dinner, which I typically don't, that tends to be like a handful of walnuts or almonds, which, guess what? It's a little bit of protein, right? So protein is crucial. And you have your animal protein, obviously, and you have your dairy-based protein, and then you have your plant-based protein. So there's many different ways of protein that you can get in. When I lost 57 pounds, and I'm pretty fit, very, very fit, actually, I do believe that, but I'm fit on the inside also. So when I go, if I hear somebody work out really hard, and they're like, oh man, I can't wait to have that pizza, you know, I'm working out to that. You don't want to do that whatsoever, right? You're not working out to eat poorly. You're working out for a couple of reasons: for your strength, for your muscle, for your bone structure, for how you're going to age. Aging is one of the most important things of how you're going to age and what you're putting into your body. So don't calorie deficit. The more you work out, the more you're supposed to eat. Okay? If I tell you, if somebody says, how many calories a day do you do, Nadia? I have no clue. I have to tell you one thing. I probably eat as much as a 250-pound man. Okay? I know that for a fact that I do. So from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, because I'm pretty athletic, I work out anywhere from 3 to 4 days a week. I try to nail it at 5. And lean structure. I used to train people a long, long time ago. That's not my forte. For them to, there's a lot of men in the personal training that I did that they were strong, but they weren't lean. Okay, so those are two different things. They were strong, but they weren't lean. And they're like, I don't understand. I'm working out 6-7 hours a week. I'm like, you don't need to, you know? You don't need to do that much. It's their food. So once we've got the food under control, we're talking the definition, the fat came off, they got stronger. So your food is one of the most important things. And if you're wondering, well, how am I, what is it? Because everybody wants to know that. They was like, well, Nadia, tell me what to do to lose 10 pounds. I go everywhere. People are like, hey, what do I need to do to lose 10 pounds? So I'm like, good Lord, if it was that easy to tell you in like a conversation. Everybody, your body is very different than every single body in the world, right? So your nutrition needs to be that way too. It needs to be geared towards you. It's what time you get up to what time you go to bed. How many of you get up in the morning and you eat within 45 minutes that you wake up? Excellent. And then, is it typically protein? Perfect. That's what it needs to be. You need to, within half an hour to 45 minutes that you wake up, you need to eat something. And most of the time it should be protein and some sort of complex sugar, which could be a fruit, for example, right? Then, how long after that you're supposed to eat? Do we know? 3 hours tops. So you're looking at about 2.5. You don't want to go over 3 hours without eating again, right? Like mine's about 2.5 because, I don't know, I get hangry very, very quickly and I just constantly need to eat. So between between that. So then you want to eat, don't go beyond 3 hours, because if you go beyond 3 hours, your metabolism is going to die, and your body's going to feed off your muscle mass and not your body fat, right? And the latest you want to eat at nighttime is how long? Anybody know? 2 hours before bedtime. Yeah. 3 is good, but 2 hours okay. So, and then again, when you're looking at becoming lean, lean is one of the most important things. I like lean. Okay, I like lean and I like strong. We don't want to be like skinny and frail, right? So lean and strong. Lean and strong is for you to be able to get the right amount of proteins in. You got your vegetables, obviously, and your carbs are not your enemy. Number one. And the thing that people think that is their biggest enemy is what? Sugar, right? You hear sugar be the worst enemy in the world. Don't give sugar that power. I eat sugar. I love cupcakes. I really, really do love cake. That's one of my favorite things in the world. Okay? So, and I like things that are sweet. I love carbs. I love my protein. So don't give, if you're like, I'm never going to touch sugar again, you're giving that food power. What you need to learn is to own it, right? Like I can have literally 1 almond, or I can have 1 potato chip and walk away. I can do half a cupcake and not eat the other half, right? It's not that I can't do it, I sure can. I'm choosing to gain power over that food. So don't ever think anything's evil. It's not evil. You just have to learn how to put your food combination together and own your food. Your whole thing is, at your age, especially that you're young, because I gained my weight through 8th grade on. I was pretty overweight from 8th grade to my senior year. Then when I left to go to college, I actually lost 14 pounds in my first semester, when everybody gains their first freshman year, they say you gain 15 pounds. I actually lost I think 12 pounds in my first semester. And that's because I, at that point, was able to choose what I'm going to put into my body. So your nutrition is the key and your protein is the key. And if you don't like protein, there's many, many different forms of protein that you can get into your body, and take it as a snack. There's some awesome protein shakes out there that you can put in between your breakfast and lunch. So before workout, I can only eat about an hour before my workout. That's just how my body is. If I get too close to my workout, my stomach doesn't like it, because I don't work out like to just, go be on my phone. I work out. When I go work out, I work out. I'm sweating. I'm just cool, like strength training. I'm doing a HIIT class. I'm doing a spin class. I'm working out. So about an hour before, what you want to do before you go, that's where your complex carbohydrates sugars comes into place. Meaning your fruit. Meaning at that point you can, have, your sweet potato, or something that you want, your complex sugar and your complex carbohydrate. And after your workout, within 45 minutes of your workout tops, you need to eat something. Your metabolism is the highest half an hour to 45 minutes after your workout. And it is looking for fuel. And fuel is what? Your food. So protein at that point, and your vegetables with it. And if you're young and very athletic, then you can put a complex carbohydrate with it too. And that could be your quinoa, it could be your sweet potato, it could be your brown rice, it could be a mashed potato, it could be potato in general. So when you boil a potato, you actually decrease the glycemic index of it. It actually becomes considerably healthier than you having it as a baked potato. So boiled potato are almost as good as a sweet potato. Okay? So before and after your workout on what you eat is a night and day difference. Even at I like to say at my age, even though I don't feel, believe me, in my mid-50s whatsoever. I'm pretty strong for my age and my height, and my body frame. And I'm very, very, I get up in the morning full of freaking energy, and I'm lying down probably around 11 o'clock finally. And that's because my amount of exertion is so much of my day. You should be tired around your bedtime. Okay? That's how your body shows you that you have burned a lot of fat and you have maintained, you utilized your energy the entire day. As soon as I get out of bed, I'm a crazy nut job all day long, okay? Until about that 11 o'clock when I'm trying to wind down, and my body is telling me, you need to go to sleep. It's telling me, and that's how much exertion I have put. I can run around in circles with 20-year-olds or 16-year-olds. And I truly believe it's because number one is how you feed your body, because how you feed your body is how you feed your mind. You know, your neurons in your brain, your liver, your kidney, every part of your human body that God created, which is very, very complex. We don't even know, I guarantee you, probably 90% of what our body can do. No matter how much science is out there, we still don't know. So how you feed it, what you put into it, every time you decide you put in something into your body, think about, do I really want to put that in my body? Then when I go drive to Wegmans, and I always tell people that story, I go buy a cupcake, and I ate it in my car, okay, because I really wanted one. It's a choice that I made, okay? I wasn't emotional, I didn't need it for stress, I didn't want to feel better, I just wanted a freaking cupcake. So I went, drove, ate it, that's it, passed it, and then the rest of the day, 2 more, 3 more days, I love eating healthy. I love eating healthy as much as sprinkling those things into your week. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Absolutely nothing. No guilt should be connected to food. Zero guilt. You should feel guilty about nothing, okay? So thank you so much, and I know it's a broad statement, but I hope that it kind of gives you some idea. You guys have any questions for me that you can think of? Do you feel like you've learned something a little bit, especially about calorie? Please don't count calories, okay? So, do you think you eat enough?
How much water should we drink per day?
Goodness, I love water. Okay, so water, I don't know, a lot of people have difficulty with water. I try to aim, and I weigh about 112 pounds, so I try to aim about 100 ounces for my day. That's what I aim. Your water, again, if you do too much water, there is such thing as that, because it depletes your electrolytes, but then you want to make sure that some of your water does have electrolytes in there too. So I aim for 100 ounces a day. Now the typical answer is 8 ounces, right? 64 ounces. But the more you weigh, the more water body you, and you exercise. Remember, you sweat out a lot of water, so you should increase that if you're very active on top of it. So I aim for 100. That's my goal every day, and if I work out, I nail it. I probably get about 120 ounces when I work out, because I have it, and I get it in glass. So you want to do glass, no plastic. Don't put your water in plastic. So it's just studies came out that 95,000, that people get plastic in their plastic water in your body, and it goes into your brain. So glass or your Yetis or something like that. So don't drink water out of plastic. So I have it and I fill it consistently. Thank you. Any other questions you can think of? And even if you're a girl, don't eat like a girl. Does that make any sense? I know if you're a young lady, don't feel like you have to eat like kind of tiny little things and not much food and all like salads. You're growing and you guys are athletic. You need to eat a good amount of food in your day, because that's what's going to make you stronger. Any other questions? Great, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, guys, so my part. Injuries. How many of you guys have ever had an injury? Adult, kids, put your hands up nice and high. Okay, the majority of us all have injuries, right? So, here's how I break down injury. Max has mentioned a little bit before. Every injury is key. Okay? When you're born, this is where you're at, right in the middle. This is how God made you. If you stayed on this path your whole life, you wouldn't have pain, you wouldn't have any problems. Your body would be perfect. Okay? Unfortunately, we do things to jack ourselves up, okay? So we set ourselves over here. So we'll take Macklin, for example, right? He had a pretty bad ankle sprain. Macklin's somewhere in this range. Okay, so Macklin's going to go, if he doesn't do anything, okay? Even if he rehabs, he'll move himself over a little bit, okay? He's still not where he needs to be, but this is where he'll live then the rest of his life. So as he starts to get here and he starts to get older, okay? And maybe he's not as active, now all of a sudden something else starts to hurt because he's off where he should be. It's a scale. You have to keep yourself always in balance. This is the number one thing that I've seen with athletes. Trust me, for 25 years, I've dealt with athletes. Macklin's just one of them. That when you don't take care of an injury, and I'm going to tell you right now, even if you go to rehab, you're probably not taking care of it correctly. I have kids that come in all the time and said, yeah, I go to rehab. Then why are you still off? So I see kids that come in with ankles or knees, and they'll squat like this. So they'll hurt this leg, they'll squat, they won't have any pain, and they'll be like this. They'll shift themselves over. And their therapist will be like, that looks fine. Does that look fine to anybody here? You're loading something else. Remember, the body has to compensate. The only thing it wants to do is survive. It needs to survive through two things, healing and adapting. It will heal the way you tell it to heal. When Macklin contacted me and they said, you're going to be out for 6 weeks, I said, that's bullcrap. You're not going to be out for 6 weeks unless it's broken. Okay? We're going to get you back. Now, he had to put the work in, but it was through his work that he got his body to heal quickly and back to where it needed to be, closer to this range. Okay? You heard him though, what he did say though. Because we pushed back so quick, what happened?
Growing.
His opposite growing, correct? Was it the opposite?
Yeah.
Yes. The opposite growing started to hurt. This is typical of what happens when we come back from injuries. Then we had to attack the growing area so it wouldn't stay like that. Okay? Every injury causes us to be off. Okay? Our job is to get back to this as quickly and as safely and effectively as possible. It's not impossible. But the longer I stay out of something, okay, the longer I stay off of it, the worse it becomes. Now, I'm not saying that if I tear my knee up, okay, that I should get up and start moving right away. You got to figure out what's wrong, but then you got to get on it right away as quickly as possible, because that will get you back. The human body loves movement, but what have we done to it? You know, especially this society, okay, America. What have we done to it? Our number one thing that we want is what? What do we all crave in this world, in this country? Starts with the C. Comfort. What does the human body hate? Comfort. It hates it. You go against everything the human body loves. It's a fact. Think about this. We should all be living outside. That's technically how we were all made. We were made to be outside. Live in a cave, get some heat by putting some wood there, chopping the wood, doing all that stuff. That's how we were made. We now have these nice houses. We have our wood. We have our food. We have everything right there at our disposal. We've taken everything out of what makes us great. I ask parents all the time, or I ask adults when I go out and speak, how many of you guys ever had back pain? Almost every single one of them raise their hand. I said, why?
Because you're sitting. Doing nothing.
Sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Our rear ends weren't meant for sitting. You know that. You guys know that? That they weren't meant for that? You know what they were meant for? They're the engine. The heart and then the glutes are your two strongest muscles in the human body. The glutes are meant to power you through everything. But yet we don't utilize it for that. We don't. This guy can jump through the roof. His glutes are some of the strongest glutes I ever had to work with. Okay? That guy can jump through the roof. Jump. Amazing. He's powerful. Like if he hit me, honestly, he would probably destroy me. And I'm not just saying that because he's one of my guys and one of my favorite guys I ever got to work with. But he has a lot of power that he drives through. Okay? That's what he is. But we have to make sure that we're taking care of this body that we have. And we have to mitigate every single injury. And every single injury that does come about, you got to erase it as quickly as possible. You got to get it back to this phase right here. It's one of my biggest pet peeves because there's no reason we suffer in this country and kids suffer and sit out so many games. When my goal was for him to sit out 2 games. Okay? Now whether he got back to there, it was the grace of God that got him back. I just gave him the game plan. He had to go work the game plan. He worked it to how he had to do it, and guess what? He got back. And at that point going into that, he didn't tell you this, he was leading the nation, Division 1, 2, and 3 in tackles going into that game 4. If he doesn't get hurt, he probably is in the top 3 of the nation. I'm talking about Georgia, Alabama, you name any other school. He was number 1 in tackles that year through 4 weeks to that injury, right? That's what I'm talking about though. But he misses the rest of that season. You know what I mean? Who knows? People know. But he didn't. He came back, he got himself back. And that's what we all have the ability to do. The human body's amazing. It heals itself. But, like I said earlier, you have to heal it to where you want it to go. You can let it here. It healed. I feel fine, Dave. I'm great. Look, my ankle doesn't hurt. I can do all this stuff. And then you go back out a little bit later and try to play. Now all of a sudden my knee hurts. Then my hip hurts. And then we don't know why. So we watched who's the one guy that just got hurt towards ACL? Around the time Parsons got hurt. Played for the Colts, I think. Daniels? Jared Daniels?
Jaden Davis?
Z quarterback?
He's not on the Colts.
Who does he play for?
He plays for the
Okay, one of the guys. I don't know if he was a Colt or what. I looked at his history of his injuries up to his ACL tear. He had 9 different injuries in a matter of like 4 years. High ankle sprain, you name this, knee issues, back issues, shoulder issues. Every single thing came up, and then we go, oh, he tore his ACL, must be the turf. Dude, the dude's a broken thing. He's never healed himself. Parsons, let's go to Micah Parsons. We all know Micah Parsons, right? We all say, well, it's unfortunate, you know, he had that. Do we know that he hurt his ankle, right, the year before?
Yeah.
Sat out, what, 3 or 4 games?
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley, do we know the year before he tore his ACL, what else did he do? Hurt a high ankle sprain? Do you see all the things that come up? Now, everybody's not going to put them together because that's not how we do things. Okay, we don't want to put them together because we can't blame it on the injuries from before. But if you watch Saquon Barkley, I watched him after the high ankle sprain. Did you see how he moved before the ACL? See, nobody really watches this stuff. He moved differently. His body had a shift, and then all of a sudden he had the knee injury, the ACL. Micah Parsons, same thing. Mac and I were talking about it before the season. Did I not say he was going to blow his ACL out? He's going to hurt his knee before the season. You can see these things coming up because God do not take care of the body. And that's what I don't want to see you guys have happen. I don't want to see you be 60 years old and say, oh, my back hurts. My shoulder hurts from injuries that I had before. These are all things that we can mitigate and take care of. Nutrition is hugely important into it. Now you didn't even get into it. But how you feed your body during that time is maybe more important than actually any other time. Because when I'm trying to come back, your body needs certain things to get in there. It needs sleep. How many of you guys get at least 8 hours of sleep in it? Put it up nice and high. Your body needs 8 hours, 7 to 9. Okay? It's important. And I'll be the first guy to tell you, I neglected that for 20 some years. I would get 2 to 3 hours every night. I'm not joking. I would go to bed at 11 o'clock and I was up by 2 o'clock the next morning. And you can ask my wife. Okay? So I'll be telling you that is one of the most detrimental things I've ever had. And it destroyed me because 6 years ago my back was so bad and my hip were so bad. Okay? When I started getting more sleep, started to understand the body better, guess what all went away? Yeah, no pills, no drugs, none of that. Figured it out, got it better. That's what we need to be able to do. I don't want to see any kid miss time. I don't want to see any parent actually, I think. But I don't want to see any kid miss time because of an injury. I understand injuries happen, but they don't need to happen to the extent that we're having them happen. Okay? Look in the NFL. How many guys have torn their Achilles this year? As of last week, I think there were 27 Achilles tears. How many ACLs? 30-some, 40-some?
That's even
I think we're
worse.
up to now.
Yeah.
These are guys, and think about this, guys. These are guys that had the best training in the world available. These guys have the best. If you went to see their medical system, and hopefully Mackin will get to see it, right when he plays there, you go into the locker room, they have an MRI machine. I don't have an MRI machine. In my house, I don't have one. They have an X-ray machine. They have a team doc sitting right there. They have a nutritionist. They have every single thing there, and these guys are still hurt themselves. Think about that. Think about what they have, and they still hurt themselves because they don't understand the human body. Nadia said it best. You're each individual. Yes, there are certain things collectively we got to be able to do extremely well that we all have the ability to do, but then you have to understand your body. Such as how many guys, I'll go to this one, Nadia. How many when you eat vegetables? Anybody eat vegetables and have an upset stomach? Anybody eat raw vegetables here? Anybody eat raw vegetables?
No.
Broccoli, carrots, anything like that? Anybody ever have an upset stomach afterwards? My stomach kills me. I used to eat broccoli and carrots all the time. You can ask my kids. My stomach would kill me. Absolutely destroyed. Guess what I did? I stopped eating, and guess what? Never had an issue again. Because I understood my body. It might not be you guys. You guys might be able to eat and be fine. But I'm not going to keep eating something and destroy my gut. My gut would hurt me for like 3-4 hours afterwards. I'm like, dude, what is going on? This is what you guys got to do. It's on you to figure out what makes me better. Mackin has a specific diet. I tell him general guidelines, right? But he figured out what works for him, and that's how he put on his weight. That's how he got stronger. He worked harder. All those things. He figured it out. What worked? I could tell him something. He said, Dave, it doesn't go with me right. Good. Take it out. We'll figure something else out. That's what it's all about. It's the same thing as working out. I give you a basic guideline, but it's then figuring out what works for you. Same thing with injuries. Certain exercises will work. How do I bring myself back to here? So in conclusion, each individual, we have a baseline of what I can give you, right? I can give you all the greatest things in the world. But then you got to figure it out. You got to listen to your body, something that we do not do as human beings, especially here in this country. We never listen to our bodies. I can tell you if I'm going to get sick before I ever get sick. How many have been sick in the last year? Cold. Why? Do you know why? Because your brother or your sister or somebody you went to school was sick, right? It's not how it works. Never worked like that, and they'll tell you that, and it never worked like that. It's never been proven. Because somebody else that I know got me sick. When somebody says that to me, I just look at them like, how's that possible? How'd they get you sick? You guys know that? It's like, oh, well, I was walking down the street, he had a broken ankle, so I broke my ankle too, right? Is that how it works? Like sickness, it doesn't work like that, guys. It never worked like that. There was a study done in 1918, the Spanish flu. We all heard about the Spanish flu in 1918? Want to know a study that was done? How I know that whole thing of that, if I'm in a room with somebody and they're sick, that I get sick? 1918, they took 25 healthy people that had never had the Spanish flu, and they put them in a room with 25 people who had the Spanish flu. For 3 days, they sat there, had to live with these people. Came out, they studied them, okay, for the next 2 months. Those 25 people that were in there were never sick, did not get sick. But now they remember they were with these 3 people that was the most contagious pandemic of all time, the Spanish flu, right? So they said that can't be possible. So what do we gotta do? We're taking 25 more people that never had it, and we're gonna take 25 people that do have it. And I'm gonna have them cough in their mouth, I'm gonna have them spit in the other person's mouth, and I'm gonna take the snot out of their nose and put it in the other person's nose. Right? I'm not kidding. You can go look this up. It's in Boston University Medical Center. 25 people that had that done to them, that were not sick, still never got sick. Isn't that interesting? But yeah, we blame it when we're sitting in a room with somebody, oh, that person got me sick. It's the environment that you're in. The environment that you do and the people that you surround yourself with, okay? And the toxins that you take in are what make you sick. That's why an individual, is what I'm trying to get at, that's why you got to know your body better than anybody else. I can tell you before I get sick whether I'm going to be sick. And I can also tell myself that I'm not going to get sick. Nadia said it, Macklin said it, it's just mind. Right? Your mind controls so much. You have to believe that you're not going to get sick. No matter how bad you think it's going to get, you're not going to get sick. And they've already proven that over and over and over again, that people who have that brain power actually get over sicknesses like that or don't get sick at all. I have 2 people that I know that have not been sick for 20 years. I'm not talking about a cold, I'm not talking about the flu, I'm not talking about anything. 20 years, they've not been sick. And guess what they do? They have the mindset, eat right, and they know exactly what's going on every single time. They know their body better than anybody else I've ever seen. They know when something's not right. Hey, I'm starting to feel a little twinge here. Let me take this off. Let me go fix this. That's what you got to be able to figure out as an athlete, as an athlete, as an athlete, as an athlete. You guys got to be able to figure these things out. Is something off? What's off? What do I need to do today? You do that, you watch what happens to your body. It's on you. It's on you to take care of it and mitigate any kind of problem that comes up. But if you do have a problem, you can always reach out. I'm not saying I had the answers, but I'm more than happy. Like when Macklin called me up from Dartmouth, 7 hours away, I wasn't going to drive up there, right? We figured it out. You know, he got on it right away. He knew exactly what to do. Because like I said, I hate seeing people sick. Hate it. My biggest pet peeve. If there's something I can do to get them back quickly, that's what I like to do. So, any questions? Anything? Awesome. Well, listen, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. You guys coming out. If you guys do have questions, James, you have a card that you can give them? James will give you guys a card. You guys can reach out to us. All right? Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. Reach out. That's what I'm here for. All right? I'm not saying I know everything, but I've been in this for 25 years, and I do things differently than most people. Actually, tell you right off the bat, I do things much, much different. Okay, I study the body over and over and over again, and I try to figure out, okay, why did this guy get hurt? I watch video. Okay, here's where he got hurt. Okay, what do we need to do to mitigate that? That's all I do with that guy. I mean, that guy's taking more beatings than anybody, especially his senior year. You and the other kid, I think, ran the ball or had 90% of the offense. 95% of the offense. Ran through him and one other kid. And he didn't sustain any major injury during that time. So, that's what I want to do. I want to make sure the kids don't get hurt. Okay? So I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great rest of the year here, going into the new year. Have a good time. Good luck with school. Work hard, and reach out if you guys need me.